I'm here. I've been given the distinct honor of going ahead and introducing to you Mr. Nick Carter, who will speak with you. And before I introduce him or read his bio, I'd like to say a few words about him. Mr. Carter is a man of vision, and he's gone ahead and taken his vision from his mind, from his heart, and placed it on this piece of paper. And now it's become his vision statement, and it's there for everyone to read. Now, be assured that with Mr. Carter's managerial and his skills, I should say managerial. Can you think I'm a little nervous?
Go ahead and read it.
I know. Now, anyway, basically what I wanted to say was be assured that managerial and organizational skills and his vision will benefit San Jacinto and its citizens of this county. And please take a few moments and read this vision statement, and you'll understand what he's trying to do for this county. You know, the benefits, things of that sort. You can't hear back there? Secondly, he loves to serve. He has served his country, his family, his God, the Republican Party, and he's gone ahead and even served the domino players of 42. Mr. Carter will always ensure that he serves you and gives you quality service at any particular level, and I think that's an important thing. Let's see, and I guess I should go ahead and read your bio. So Mr. Carter has been married to his lovely wife, Sharon, for the last 27 years. As an entrepreneur, Nick formed or acquired 7 different businesses throughout his career. In the 1980s, Nick came to San Jacinto County and discussed moving a manufacturing company to the county. Nick is a 3-tour veteran of Vietnam. At the age of 24, and served as has served as a post commander of the VFW at the age of 24, and served as a Texas State Director of the Voice of Democracy program for the VFW Department of Texas. He has served as president of the Pastoral Council at St. Jerome's Catholic Church, a 6,000 family member church. That's quite large. And has been a board member of the National Association of Parliamentarians. He has also served on the board of directors of Holy Name Retreat Center, a Christian men's 12-step weekend retreat organization. He currently serves as a national secretary in the National 42 Players Association, and most recently guided the HCR 84 through the Texas legislature, naming 42 as the official state game of Texas. The bill was signed by the governor June 17, 2011. Nick was the voting Box 5 precinct chair in County Precinct 3 and was the vice chair of San Jacinto County Republican Party. He recently received certification on probate law from the College of Probate Judges and is currently working on certification in civil and criminal procedures. Now, you know, Nick, he also wants to keep the party as united as possible. Honesty, integrity, and ethics. That's what he wants for this county. And as a county judge, I think he will provide that for that particular position. So without further ado, I'd like to go ahead and introduce to you the candidate for county judge, San Jacinto, Mr. Nick Carter.
Thanks, Ray.
Sorry.
I don't have much left to say. I mean, that was pretty good. I do want to talk about something tonight that I think is going to be very interesting to all of us. A couple of things first. I found out just recently that the senior center, both in Cold Spring and in Cleveland, has had their budgets cut tremendously. The Meals on Wheels program in Cleveland feeds 80 citizens of San Jacinto County. Currently, they're being funded for 18. So, and my wife and I have personally held a fundraiser for the last 7 years at the Senior Center in Cleveland Amazingly enough, it's a 42 tournament. But that little 42 tournament's also benefited the senior center by over $15,000. So this Saturday, we will be having another tournament. It's early in the morning, it starts at 9:30. We'll have lunch there, and there's some sign-up sheets, and I just want to share that with you. I hope all you 42 players will come down. If you're not a 42 player and you want to learn, please come down and help the senior center. We need to feed everybody. This is not a Lone Star card. This is food actually going to people that need it. The next thing I want to talk about, I could stand up here and give you all kinds of qualifications to be county judge. And we could go over and over and over about it. But that's not really what's important tonight. I'm not going to debate qualifications. I believe I would not have filed for the office if I didn't feel I was qualified. I would not have filed for the office if people hadn't asked me to run. And I can tell you that, and going out through the entire county, I have been totally blown away by the power that the people have spoken about the need for some new leadership in our county, to bring our county together. I said once before in our announcement speech that the county was, I was told one time that there was all these different little factions of the county. And, you know, yes there are. But they can be unified. You know, my guess is if I looked out and talked to every single one of you, we could find some differences between each of us. Now, if we dwell on that, we're not going to get much done, are we? But if we start looking and seeing what we have in common, now suddenly we've got something to be unified with. And I've got to tell you, we're at a point right now, heading into a campaign that I've never seen this party in before. We have more candidates that have come forward out of the grassroots to represent this county. We've got people that truly want to serve the county. Wouldn't that be tremendous if what we had there was public servants and not politicians? We have an opportunity here to do something about it. I'll also tell you this. I found this little document, and I don't often try to read things to you, but I will on this. A political party cannot be all things to all people. It must represent certain fundamental beliefs which must not be compromised in political expediency or simply to grow our numbers. Ronald Reagan said that. Maybe we need to listen to it. We do stand for something. And there's nothing to be afraid of in standing for something. I was really intrigued by something that came up the other day. A couple of weeks ago, Ted Cruz stood in the well of the Senate. And what was the major theme of his speech? Most of you will say Obamacare. But if you listen to what Ted Cruz had to say, what he said was, we elect people to go to Washington and they quit listening to us. They get up there and they just do what they want to do. And then they come back around election time and they tell you what you want to hear. And then they go back up and do what they want to do. So he stood there in the Senate and repeatedly told us what was going on. Now, it's interesting because we heard a little bit ago about how titles are things. The Affordable Health Care Act sounds really good, doesn't it? Until you find out it's going to totally change the entire complexion of our country. But here's what's really more interesting than anything. While Ted Cruz stood there for over 22 hours and gave of himself and gave to communicate to his constituents, because he stood there and said, I'm representing the people of Texas. The next day, they interviewed John McCain when John McCain said, oh, Ted Cruz is splitting the party. So when did standing for something like the truth split a party? It only does when those that are doing the splitting want to accuse someone. It's a real simple thing to be done. It's easy to do. There was one perfect human in this country, in our nation, in our world, and he was executed. He was crucified on a cross. So criticizing people is very, very easy. Now, the candidates in our county have been asked to sign a document. It comes from the Texas Ethics Commission, and it's called the Fair Campaign Practices Act. I want to read to you from one line of it. This is section 2, and it says, excuse me, I want to make sure I get this right. I'll get a little cheater out here. I will not use or permit the use of character defamation, whispering campaigns, libel, slander, scurrilous attacks on any candidate or any candidate's personnel or family life. Now, each of the candidates have been asked to sign that. I certainly don't have any problem signing it. I think it's an awfully nice way to live. You know, political campaigns don't have to be vicious. Political campaigns can be positive, looking forward, and maybe doing something better. Just because someone is running for office doesn't mean they're running against someone. How many times have I heard, who are you running against? How about I'm not running against anybody? I have an idea that I want to present. You can accept it and join in that and move forward. We can all do that. In the last election cycle, I was involved in 2 different campaigns. Sam's campaign for constable, a very clean campaign. Never did we mention his opponent's name in anything. The campaign was not about his opponent, it was about what Sam could do as constable. And he won by the largest percentage of any candidate in this county. So it proves that we can have clean campaigns. I also worked in one other campaign, and that was the Ted Cruz campaign. And we all saw what happened when a negative campaign took place there. Obviously, David Dewhurst had some very bad advice and chose to keep attacking and attacking and attacking. And Ted Cruz stayed positive and said what he can do. And I'm so proud that he got elected and that he went up there and he's doing what he said he was going to do. That's really refreshing. The key thing in this is that we can have political campaigns that don't have to be vicious. There's going to be some that are going to want to live that way. There's an old statement, you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And even if you have a good unified body to push that water a little bit closer to the horse, if the horse doesn't drink, suddenly you have to look around and say, this horse ain't going to drink. And you move along. You understand that's a distraction. It's a distraction from the positive goals that we can establish. And that's what we've got to do. I have never seen the grassroots of the Republican Party in this county more unified. I have never seen the candidates work closer together and enjoy each other's company. I was fortified by that at the rodeo when people kept coming by and saying, this is so great, everybody's working together, that's nice. I happen to have been a member for several years down at the Downtown Pachyderm Club in Houston. And several of the members, or several of the candidates and I were talking, and we went down there and visited with many of the statewide candidates. To the point now that when we walk into the Pachyderm Club, they say, here comes San Jacinto County.
Yep.
Part of my campaign is to elevate the reputation of our county, inside and out. And we can do that by being positive and by demonstrating a reason why people should vote for you. That's what campaigns are all about. And if someone is out there doing the things in this sheet, then that doesn't reflect on the candidate. That reflects on the people doing it. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly posted that, I believe, on Facebook one day. There was another thing that Kelly posted that I really liked and I want to share. I would rather be biblically accurate than politically correct any day.
Amen.
There's a lot of people that want to hide behind the political correctness. And the truth is, we don't need to be ashamed to stand for something and ask others to join us. That's how we're going to move forward. That's how we can have a better county. That's how we can have unity in our county, unity in our party, and we can do this with honesty, ethics, and integrity. And everyone contributing. Unity comes from what you give to it, not what you take from it. And that, everybody in this room has now on notice. No one leave the room without understanding. You have the invitation to be part of this unity. And I think that's pretty much what I want to talk about tonight, simply because I think that that's the crux of what we've got to do. As a party, as citizens of this county, we can work together, we can make it better for the future, and I'm asking for your vote. Thank you.